It's the Weekly Wrap with your host, broadcasting legend Bruce Wolf, and his trusty sidekick, comedian Tim Slagle. And now, without further ado, Bruce Wolf.
Hi, it's Tim Slagle filling in for Bruce Wolf on the Weekly Wrap. Bruce is out for the holiday, and in order to keep the show going, because, you know, what a news week we've had, I am sitting in his seat, and I brought on a friend of the show, star of stage, screen, and television, Mr. Dale Irvin is here.
Nice to be back, Tim. And you're right. This has been an action-packed week full of news. Some of it good, and some of it, regular.
So we have a tradition on the show that you might not be aware of, is that I ask Bruce to try to guess what background I've chosen to go along with the news stories of the day. And since you are here and I'm the one with the secret background, it's your guess. What do you think my background is this week?
Well, I'm looking at you since I cannot see your face, just your name against a background. I'd have to say that black backgrounds matter.
That was last week. But for some people, some other people, I'm sure that this background is quite dark.
Oh, there it is. Okay, now I see you. Now I can see you.
Washington, D.C. closed for the duration.
Absolutely. But I've got a good idea to go with that because, they're still closed. And if they're not going to be there for us, I don't think we should have to pay them in taxes. So if this thing lasts like a week, that's 1/52nd of the year, or approximately 2%, that I'd like to deduct from my income tax. And also no pay for the senators until they solve this.
Boy, if they could actually pass that, the shutdown would be over quite quickly.
Exactly.
Because everybody would be rooting for a full year on that
one. Keep it closed. We don't need it.
And it's been the joke every single shutdown that we've had. This has to be. I should have looked this up, and I guess if I were a responsible host filling in for Bruce Wolf this week, I would have looked it up. How many shutdowns we've had since 1994? That was the first one I remember. So we've been at least 30 years we've been dealing with this government shutdown thing. And everybody I know has always said, well, if they're non-essential workers, why are we bringing them back?
Exactly. If we don't need them, let's let them go.
And this is the first time we've actually had a president in the White House that was one of us that has been saying for the past 30 years, if they're 21 shutdowns, Chris has informed us, there have been 21 shutdowns. It's actually been more than that because the government shuts down every weekend.
Well, but in 30 years, 21 shutdown, that's like every year almost.
Yeah, this will be 22. Yeah, pretty much. We
got to get an econ major in there somewhere.
I am really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. Of course, all the news, they're looking for that family that has no savings, that has been living paycheck to paycheck, has a minimum wage government job that they can actually make the news headline, and it's Bill Smith was laid off, and have his wife, I don't know, my children need medical treatment, and I don't know if we're going to be able to afford their medical treatment and their medicine this month, and the Congress needs to do something about this.
Wow, that was like a good impression of Robert F. Kennedy.
Well, yeah, it's just his medical treatment plan is just to cut out the nut oils.
Which it goes so many ways, I don't know exactly what I'd have to cut out, but
and one of my favorite things, I don't know if you've seen this. I don't know. Can you play this, Chris? The debate asking about is apparently it was a debate question in the primary for the Democrats, and they asked how many people would support giving illegal aliens medical benefits? And can you play it, Chris, or do I just have to describe it?
Hang on a second here.
Oh, okay. I gotta vamp a little bit here, and because everybody's saying right now, oh no, 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 this would not. We do not support giving medical benefits to illegal aliens. This package that we're trying to add on to the continuing resolution has nothing to do with medical benefits for illegal aliens. But there was a debate question, and who's that? Who was that moderator? Did you see? Is it? Are you going to play it, or are we just going to
Yeah, we
look at
can
the
play
picture?
it.
Yeah, let's play it.
To get access to the health insurance marketplace.
I'm so glad you said that. Actually, I have some tape of your Democratic Party members saying this on the debate stage. So they've all said it. Let's play the clip.
A lot of you have been talking tonight about these government health care plans that you've proposed in one form or another. This is a show of hands question, and hold them up for a moment so people can see. Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
All the hands go up for you in the radio audience.
Certainly every member of your party, from moderate to more progressive, that have said that in the past.
I haven't heard any.
and the audience, who is largely composed of Democrats, applauded that. Then they all raised their hand. They all applauded it. So do Democrats support that? Yes, they do.
Wow. Wow. Well, they'll all be, illegal voters too.
It's try to get a government employee after 5 o'clock. You tell me about. You try to get a federal employee on the phone after 5 o'clock. You tell me that there's only been 22 shutdowns over the past 30 years.
Well, some of them, just shut down and they never came back, but they're still collecting paychecks. So
yeah, those no work, no show jobs that
exactly.
the government is famous for. It's and here's the thing. Okay, air travel is not going to be affected. If you're going to fly anywhere, you don't have to worry. Of course, any plane accident or close call is going to be headlined on David Clothespin Muir's show. Because they want to make people think that, oh, look what happened here. Look at we shut down the government and now it's dangerous to fly. Which, everyone that thinks it's dangerous to fly, stay off the plane. I've got some flights to catch in the next few months.
It's always been dangerous to fly, but what the heck?
Yeah, that's true.
It's a lot less dangerous inside a plane. But
yeah, I wanted that. I want the center seat open. So yes, the shutdowns are going to affect the FAA. It's going to be very hazardous travel.
Oh well, if I don't know where these people are going. That's so important. So what the heck?
Is that moving on to other subjects? Former Republican presidential nominee Mitt Romney revealed Monday night that he called the White House during the Biden administration when Special Counsel Jack Smith was investigating Donald Trump to urge President Joe Biden to preemptively pardon him.
I would love to have heard that conversation. Hey, Joe, it's me, Mitt. Yeah, how's it going?
Yeah. You remember the dog on the roof guy. yeah, that's me. The one with sister grandmothers.
And you said you wouldn't pardon your son, but since you got an extra pardon, then why don't you give it to Trump preemptively?
It's I don't. What did he do? Do you have any idea what he did that he would think he would need a pardon?
I don't know. I mean, there are things, but nothing that comes to light immediately.
It's losing to Barack Obama, I think, was just short of criminal.
Stormy Daniels pardoned him, so
Pardoned. Brushed past him and asked for a pardon.
Exactly. Pardon me. Okay.
No, that's not necessary, Stormy. And it's not cheating if we're married
to each other.
Scanning through the story, I can't find what he thinks he did. Is it crooked? I mean, are some of those bankruptcies he bought? Are they crooked crooked
He
transactions?
asked for the pardon for Trump.
Oh, did
Yeah,
I miss that?
he wanted
Oh.
to give.
Because of the Jack Smith stuff. He said it would bring the country together if you preemptively pardon him.
Oh.
Well, you're Bruce Wolf. You're not even reading the stories, just the headlines. So.
Well, why bother him? Okay, I get it now. Okay, Special Counsel Jack Smith was thinking Trump to urge President to pardon him, meaning Donald Trump, not Romney.
Right.
Oh, well, yeah. Didn't Romney obviously did not realize how good Trump's team of attorneys were. Is that there was absolutely no need. He went in front of a jury of 330 million American citizens and was found not guilty, or at least able to remain president. So
Yeah, guilty, but still our guy.
So you think that would curry some favor between Trump and Romney, but I understand they're not the best of friends.
Probably not, no. But, I don't think Trump has any best of friends. He doesn't seem like a friendly kind of guy you'd want to sit down and have a Coke with.
No, Diet
Coke, yeah.
Diet Coke and a McDonald's hamburger. It's well, I think I botched up the first segment well enough. We got plenty more stories that I have about 2 minutes to read. Maybe I should know what I'm talking about next segment here on Tim Slagle with Dale Irvin on the Weekly Wrap. Tim Slagle back in for Bruce Wolf on the Weekly Wrap. I am here with a fill-in co-host, Dale Irvin.
Glad to be back, Tim. We have even more intriguing news, I bet.
Oh man! If you were there for the first segment, you know that I botched it royally. I just insured job security for Bruce Wolf. So it's a good thing. There's only a few holidays a year, I guess, huh? Well, here's something. Here's a story that being a comedian, Dale, I think you probably heard about this as well. Is that there was a comedy festival in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, this past week.
I read about that. That's amazing. And they got some good comics over there, but I don't know if I'd want to play over there. They're over there. They don't give you the light to get off. They give you the sword,
Yeah. Well, comedy festivals, for those uninitiated, comedy festivals, they have a bunch of they invite a bunch of comedians to come, and then they have a bunch of venues that are part of the festival. So there's like different shows you can see. You can see like a woman's show, or you can see a young person show, the new comic show, or a lot of times they'll have the LGBTQA plus show, which, in keeping with the tradition in Riyadh, they did have an LGBTQA plus show. It was held on the top of Riyadh Tower.
and it was an easy way down.
I mean, that's kind of the thing. It's the other joke I saw on the internet was that what's the name of the club there? The Funny Bone Saw.
Oh, geez.
It's I know that that was the thing when of course they cut up a journalist that they did not like. They had a bone saw there, and everyone says, "Well, why would you have a bone saw? Why? Well, come on, they have one in every courthouse in Saudi Arabia. It's
wow.
It's pretty much one stop. You're tried, you're convicted, and the punishment just right there, and you're out. It's like a one-stop clinic for you're out and never stealing again.
Okay, we're gonna give you a little leniency. I know you're right-handed. We'll take your left arm. That sort of. Wow.
So this, from what I heard, It's if you were invited to take part in the Riyadh Comedy Festival, 300K.
That's what you were paid?
Yes, that's what each of
Wow.
those comics got, was 300K. That's so yeah. Now, you were just saying a few minutes ago, I would not have participated in that. 300K, Dale.
300K, I don't know. That's,
That's
that wouldn't be bad.
yeah, that's boy, that is definitely that might not be the price to get me to lower my standards, but it certainly is in the ballpark.
Now that's American money, not some kind of Saudi Arabia where the K stands for, I don't know, Kanish or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what it's paid. They got Dave Chappelle, and Dave Chappelle actually said his bit. He actually talked about that he felt he had more freedom in Saudi Arabia.
I saw
which-
that. Yeah, we thought the freedom to speak was much better here or there, and I'm thinking, wow, really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. For you, I don't know if you brought your wife. It's they had a ladies' night, no cover.
It's- That's
And
like
a
when you
and
go,
a two
like when you
stone minimum.
like when you go to one of those Saudi Arabian strip clubs and people are yelling, "Show us your face!"
There's a friend of mine, David Crow. He actually did a bit that I thought was just genius. He actually did it was the he did it on the USO tour. It was the Afghani stripper. And he ran backstage and came out in a burqa and started putting underwear out through the eye hole. And
I
then
like that.
and then and then and then the stuff that came out just got more and more ridiculous. Like there was some plastic crabs. The grand finale was a baby with the cord still attached.
Oh,
He
geez.
swung it around like a lasso. Anyway, yeah.
Tim, did you read that
Bruce's.
story, by the way?
Which one, about the Riyadh Comedy Festival?
Dave,
No, no. I figured I knew enough about it. I could vamp.
Dave Chappelle got like 1.6 million, and they
Oh,
talked about
wow.
free speech over there, but they dropped Tim Dillon a couple weeks before because he was making jokes about the Saudis and there's still slavery there and whatnot, and he got dropped. So it wasn't really the bastion of free speech. They don't even let Tim Dillon come, but they're just an FYI.
Wow. So was he on stage doing material about the fact
He
that
did it in his podcast a couple weeks before the show, and then the Saudis found out and dropped him. He was getting 375K to go. Yeah.
No, okay. That was like the low rate, the low end.
Right.
1.4 million? Is it?
1.6 million for Dave Chappelle. Yeah.
Oh man, that would be really hard to turn on. Louis C.K. went too, if I'm not mistaken. Am I correct on that? I heard Louis
Bill
C.K.
Burr went. I know Bill Burr also got, I think, over 1 million.
Wow. Yeah, that's boy, it's amazing what you can buy when you got oil under your palace.
They could have both Tim and I for 1 million. We'll split it up.
And Bruce, we could actually get get Bruce out of his basement for that kind of money, I'll bet. Anyway, so here's another statistic that I found is Gallup just did a media poll, and did you read that article? Because I barely did, as you can imagine.
I read the part about how it's a new low.
Yeah, you did. Do you know that? Do you know the statistic? Did you get to the number?
I did, yes. And
Okay.
what is it?
I was going to make you guess. 28%. Only 28% of Americans trust the media.
But then, and it's down a little bit, but not much, because last year 31% trusted it, and now with more stuff going on. Yeah, I don't trust the media. I don't think that they. I saw an article, or not an article, but a cartoon the other day where a man was reading a newspaper and he says, "Man, I remember the newspapers used to be much thicker." And his wife said, "Yeah, that's because they used to print both sides of the story."
Well, that's the thing, though. I don't think there's any question that the media is biased. It's just now we realize it. It's they used to, when we were young, people say, "Oh, Walter Cronkite was so neutral." No, he wasn't. He was biased. He just faked it a lot better. That's all. And there was no one. There was no talk radio. There was no internet, so you didn't know how biased he really was. And then once other people were able to actually check on stories, um, then the mainstream media went way left because they felt they had to counter the misinformation.
Right, 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 right.
And it's a strange day when you actually have to go to the internet to get real news. Anyway.
The last media celebrity that I really trusted, I think, was Arthur Godfrey, and ever since then,
I
you don't know Arthur Godfrey? Oh,
barely.
wow.
He was.
Okay.
I remember he was I. By the time I knew Arthur Godfrey, he was a spokesperson for Dentugrip, I believe. So that's how old the Arthur Godfrey reference is.
Well,
Here's
the 80-year-olds in the audience are laughing at that joke.
So here's a story. I found this fascinating. Is that a teen at the University of Missouri, and I'm not going to name his name for the same reason I don't give the names of the shooters, is I don't think people who do crazy stuff need the infamy that the media gives them.
So he's a big homo?
Yeah, he's a big
Okay.
homo. He apparently flipped out and went to a community college parking lot and vandalized just a whole bunch of cars just to take out his rage.
And didn't think he was going to get caught. He said, how will they recognize me? And he's bashing in windows and ripping out windshield wipers. He goes, they'll never catch me.
And then he went back and he confessed to Chat GPT.
Exactly. That's where I read that. He said, no, they'll never catch me. I was talking to Chat GPT.
Yeah. And he said, well, they didn't catch me last year. Well, last year you didn't talk to Chat GPT. Do you think you think it's private? You don't think Chat GPT is being monitored 24 hours a day by the Illuminati?
Good to see they're back in business.
So he confessed to Chat GPT, and the kid doesn't look all right. He looks a little looks a little screwy, and
Well, most of them do that are, doing weird stuff like that. You don't see anybody doing that looks like the president of the student council. They all got a little weird look to them.
yeah. And the real sad part is it was a community college parking lot, so they were probably all crummy cars anyway that weren't insured. They were all beaters, and now everyone's going to have to find a new beater to get to school in. Anyway, we've got a lot more stories on the other side. Is that Greta Thunberg is back in the news. I know you've missed her. We're going to be talking about her in the next segment here without Bruce Wolf, Tim Slagle, Dale Irvin on the Weekly Wrap. Tim Slagle in for Bruce Wolf on the Weekly Wrap. Here with my co-host, my fill-in co-host, Dale Irvin is with us.
Good to be here.
And we teased it last segment. Greta Thunberg is in the news again, but before we get there, is that the Inspector General of the National Archives and Records Administration has launched an investigation into how military records containing private information about New Jersey's Democratic gubernatorial candidate Miki Sherrill fell into the hands of her Republican opponent. And if you're not familiar with the story, she was ahead, I believe, in the gubernatorial race in New Jersey, and then suddenly some records appeared that she was involved in a cheating. Did I get it wrong, Chris? Mikey. Is that what I said? I don't know.
You said
Oh,
Miki.
Miki?
It's
Okay,
Mikey.
whatever.
It's Mikey.
No, it's Miki. I like Miki better. I think
Tomato, you know.
I'm pretty sure I did that on purpose. Is that she was involved in a cheating scandal, and she's not going to talk anymore about it because that's private business. And she wasn't, apparently, according to her, she was not cheating herself. She just didn't want to rat out her friends. Which,
So cheating is in a academic way, or in on your spouse way?
cheating in an academic way.
Okay.
You knew that though, didn't you? You just wanted to make sure I clarified it.
Yes.
Yes, she was cheating at the Naval Academy. She was well, no, she wasn't cheating. She knew people who did, but she refused to rat them out, which I gotta say, if you're running for governor in New Jersey, that's solid. Yeah, so I cheated, but I ain't a rat, okay?
ain't telling about nobody. Nobody.
Yeah, we don't mind a cheat. We've had cheats before. You think Chris Christie kept to his diet? Just we don't want no stoolies in the governor's mansion, if you know what I mean. We got too much stuff going on. We can't.
Christie ain't eating kale, he's eating whale. Come on.
We don't need no pigeons. So yeah, I guess that the now they're wondering how it got out, and her opponent, Ciatarelli, am I getting that one right, Chris? Ciatarelli.
No
Oh,
clue.
is that how it's pronounced? CIA? Isn't that pronounced like a chi in Spanish? Isn't it Cheatarelli? Is the guy running against her?
In New Jersey, you pronounce capicola gabagool, so it's up. Anything Italian's up in the air there.
Yeah, okay.
And
Cheatarelli.
the guy's first name is Jack, so I'd just go with that.
Is that he's not he got the records, but he ain't talking about how he got them either.
I found them. They just happened to fall out of a truck, and I picked them up.
So anyway, that's truly an interesting story. And yeah, cheating on your wife, no big deal. Cheating on the Naval Academy test, maybe.
Yeah.
And basically, she wasn't in a lot of trouble. She just wasn't allowed to be there at the graduation ceremony. That's all she was. That was the extent of her punishment.
Didn't get to throw her hat.
Yep. Nope. She still graduated, was commissioned as a U.S. Navy officer, and served for distinction for more than 9 years, 5 of which as a lieutenant. So there you go. But I'm teasing this Greta Thunberg story. Is Greta still looking for attention? It's she kind of reminds me of all the other child stars. There were a lot of them. It's Emmanuel Lewis. Do you remember Emmanuel Lewis? Michael Jackson used to carry him around. Gary Coleman. If you know who Arthur Godfrey is, Mason Reese is another.
Oh yes,
is another
absolutely.
For the devil. Underwood's deviled ham was
That's
his.
right. Yeah,
was his product.
Good looking little fella.
Well, that's the thing is these little child stars. They're so cute when they're little, because they look like little old men, and and they hit puberty, and oh my gosh, that's kind of a circus freak. that's we were kind of it's oh good gosh, look how what an ugly adult they turned into.
Well, when he hit puberty, Alfalfa started combing his hair, so it was a different look altogether.
Well, here's a little trivia question. You know that Alfalfa was the one that put the key into the gym floor in It's a Wonderful Life that opened it into a pool.
I did not know that.
Yep, that was Alfalfa. And also his last major motion picture appearance was in White Christmas where when the sisters, uh, Lord help the sister who
Yeah, yeah.
gets in
Come
trouble with
between
my
me and
mis
my mister.
yeah, that's it. That's it. When they showed a picture of their brother that apparently Bing and Danny both knew, that was also Alfalfa,
Well,
the goofy guy that could have never had two beautiful sisters like that. So that was
I'll
his
have to
last.
watch those movies again and
Yeah,
look
that was
for
his
an
last.
alfalfa spotting.
Yeah, and that's Bruce is always amazed at the stupid stuff that I'm able to go into tangents on that no one else knows. But back to Greta, she has decided that I guess global warming is no longer her mission because she was part of a 50 ship flotilla
Wow.
that was going into Gaza, bringing aid and awareness, I guess, is what they were packing on.
Awareness of what?
Chris has deemed this Bruce Jews news, and I don't. I guess so. I guess so. It's sure you could do the Jews news on the high holiday, as long as you don't touch any equipment. So which Bruce has a hard time with anyway on the other days. So anyway, it was a 50 ship flotilla that
Wow.
that was going. And the interesting thing is, if you know Greta Thunberg from her previous adventure, she came to speak at the United Nations, but refused to take a powerboat
Wow.
so she actually sailed from Sweden to New York, and of course, keeping her theme, she was on one of the sailboats that were part of the flotilla.
I was just
So,
going to ask, yeah, was she on
yep, yep, it was a sailboat, but if you've seen pictures of it, the sails were all down. So it's if you know anything about sailboats, they can't really sail into port. They've all got motors on them. The sails are just for like when you're out on the open sea. They've all got motors and
Did
gas.
she get off before they turned on the motor?
I'm just I'm just gonna leave that one sitting there. I'm gonna leave that one in my footlocker, I think. Is that she no the flotilla did not land. They were escorted, and I thought this was funny too. They were escorted into Gaza by the Italian and Spanish Navy. And they were quite bold. 40 ships, 500 people, including one of the Mandelas. There was a Mandela that Thunberg wasn't the only celebrity on there. Also,
Well, if they were both the Spanish and the Italian Navy together, they don't have 400 ships.
is that I, boy, I don't know what you're talking about there, Chris. But
That's the traditional Palestinian neck scarf she's wearing, which was
okay, got it. It's yes, she was wearing the yeah, but all those hippie kids love the I don't even know how that's pronounced, the keffiyeh. Is
Dale,
that
you
how
take a stab at it, how you pronounce it.
Uh, I don't know. I would go with Jones.
It's the Palestinian scarf. She has one. She has one in the picture. Chris wanted us to
I
point
saw the
that.
picture, but I don't know what it's called. I would say it's a pashmina.
Well, I'm Polish. It's a babushka.
There you go. There you go.
So anyway, there she was. The Spanish and Italian Navy escorting him into Gaza, and all of a sudden the Israeli Navy showed up, and the Spanish and Italian Navy turned around and hightailed it.
Well, yeah, that's what they're known for.
It's you don't mess with Israel. It's I think that's pretty much we kind of always knew that, but after this recent skirmish, how deadly their army is. When you're that small, you have to have a really strong army, It's you never want to pick on the little guys. So yeah, they hightailed it, and the Jewish army boarded the flotilla and arrested all 500.
What are they going to do with them?
I think they should have let them land. That's I think they should just handed them over to the Palestinian Authority. They're here to bring you aid and comfort, and I think there's a lot of gay in there too. So I think there's. So anyway, that's
in the Spanish, when they were leaving, they said, "Hey, we used to be somebody. We used to have an armada." So,
happened so far with the FAA. Now that their non-essential workers are gone, with Tim Slagle, Dale Irvin on Bruce Wolf's Weekly Wrap. Tim Slagle, Dale Irvin on Bruce Wolf's Weekly Wrap. Bruce, of course, is off for the holidays. On the last segment, we did take care of his Jews news for the segment. Cannot miss that. But one story that's just kind of breaking is that the last night it appears that the military raided an apartment building on the south side of Chicago. It's 75th.
They took in what, 37 people or something.
37 people. Yeah, it's from what I understand, they rappelled down from a Black Hawk helicopter into a building that had been taken over by Tren de Aragua. And they said, no, we're not going to do this anymore. Okay. Of course, the media on the side of Tren de Aragua saying there is no evidence that there were any gang members.
Yeah.
In that apartment building.
They just like tattoos, okay? Is that wrong?
And the funny thing is, okay, of course, nobody in the building is going to say that the building was run by Tren de Aragua, because they don't just disappear you. They disappear you and your family and your relatives. I mean,
right.
I would not, was Tren de Aragua collecting the rent for this building? Who? You might want to talk to the New Jersey governor about that. Maybe he knows something. I don't know anything.
But I didn't realize they dropped out of helicopters. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's what I understand. I could be wrong on that. Because I read these stories. Anyway, this is here's a story that I think it's going to be. We're going to be hearing a lot of these now that the government shutdown has occurred. Is that there were two Delta planes collided at LaGuardia?
On the runway. They ran into each other on the runway.
Well, it's the best place to run into each other.
Well, yeah,
I am sure that a lot of those people were relieved that it was on the runway.
You couldn't pay me to get on a Delta flight today. Every flight, everything that's going wrong is all, 9 out of 10 of them are on Delta.
Well, 9 out of 10 flights are on Delta anymore. Is there another airline? It's pretty much that's all I fly. That's
really?
Yeah, it's Delta. And to be honest, I'm kind of jealous. Is because after those planes collided, they deployed the slides for them to get off. And I have to say, once in my life, I want to get off the plane on the slide. That just looks like so much fun. You jump and land. And I would, I think like if I was diagnosed with a terminal disease, I would take a flight and purposely open the door in the back. It's like, well, yeah, you get 20 years for that, but I don't got 20 years. Because that slide has always looked really fun to me. So
what they should do is take some of these, decommissioned airplanes and sell them to like amusement parks where they can just, go down the slide. people could get the realistic effect because they're not going to fly anymore anyhow.
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. They could also they could put it like in the center of a pool too. So when you get off the slide, you can actually take that seat cushion and use it as a flotation device for kicking around the pool. Maybe,
Tim,
yeah.
can we quickly just do a quick tinfoil? And that is recently 9/11 passed. The two planes ran into each other and the wing completely detached. Yet on 9/11, the wings went into the building. If you recall, the holes left. How does the wing get detached when it bumps in at 10 miles an hour taxiing, yet goes into the World Trade Center? Tinfoil for the day. We have to do one tinfoil.
I think it's kind of the same way as that you can get a paper cut. Is that when it's at the right angle with the right amount of pressure, I think those wings have a lot more strength. So yeah, I'm not one to say that that 9/11 did not happen. So
I can't get you to bite on any 9/11 conspiracies. It's very disappointing.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's one there. It's I'll say the election was stolen in 2020 every which way. See you later, Tom. But I will. No,
Well,
I don't. 9/11. It was just so ugly. I can't believe anyone would really do that. Other outside of some fundamentalist person who thought 72 virgins were waiting on the other side.
Tucker Carlson has a 6-part series on 9/11. I would urge you to watch if you have time.
You know what I noticed too is according to what last I read, there's 72 genders. And you get 72 virgins. That can't be a coincidence, right? I mean, it's like Baskin Robbins, you get one of each flavor. I think that would be a disappointment because I don't like every flavor that Baskin Robbins has. So
I don't like most of the other genders.
That's kind of the point. So you were saying, I interrupted you, Dale.
I know. Oh, the conspiracy. The conspiracy, I think, is the fact that all of these new planes, they're cutting costs and everything. They're putting the wings on like with duct tape and stuff. So I think there's too much cost cutting in the airline industry, and that's something they should look into.
They're going back to doped silk over balsa wood wings. No, actually, what's happening, and this is my conspiracy on this one. What's happening is that these things happen all the time. They're just not headline news. They're being made headline news by David Clothespin Muir and the rest of his cohorts because they want you to think that Trump's firing people, the important people that are allowing these sorts of things. And I guarantee with the shutdown, along with the person who was the tour guide at Yellowstone Park who, can't afford his kid's cancer medicine, we're going to hear about more airplane accidents.
Huh. Okay. Well, I'll mark that down and see if you're right.
That's my prediction. But there was another incident on a flight to Chicago. It was
a fight. Yeah. They're breaking out all the time on planes, fights.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the airlines other than Delta. So so it's essentially a lot of these airlines, it was Southwest. A lot of these airlines are getting to be like Greyhound with wings. So it's how the newly released prisoners get back home are on some of these flights. So yeah.
Well, I think pretty soon, they're going to say you can't bring your luggage on anymore because we're going to use that space under there, standing room only. You get a strap like on a subway and you just hold on to it for the endurance of the flight, and it'll be much cheaper way to fly.
Yeah, I have actually heard that. It's I don't know if
I just made it up.
Oh no, I've actually heard that they're looking at different seats different seating configurations because they figure rather than the overhead compartment, they can put another row of seats up there. But it's not high enough to get a full seat, so it's going to be like half seats staggered in between the other seats. So you're going to be you're going to want a top seat because the bottom seat you're going to be right at someone's butt level.
And it's never a good thing to be at butt level. Never, ever.
So yeah, they were coming back from Fort Lauderdale, so they were probably either bummed that their vacation was over or they're just Florida people.
That could be too, yeah. Because they're all very strange.
It's also a tragic note here on the Weekly Wrap is Jane Goodall is 91 years old, passed away. It's and
I just saw that her funeral, the pallbearers are going to be 6 chimpanzees wearing people clothes. So that should at least be kind of fun to watch.
I hope they're going to be riding unicycles and smoking cigarettes. What was the last time? What was it? She hasn't been with the chimps for years, though, has she?
Well, she was on a speaking tour when she passed. I mean,
wow.
Yeah. But I don't know how long it's been. Maybe she's got a couple at home, or maybe even married one. I'm not sure. But she was with him and among them for a long time.
That was the question we always had in high school when they'd run when the teacher had a hangover and had to run a movie. They would run the Jane Goodall documentary, and boys in high school, what do they think of all the time? It's like, so you think she ever
some of them chimps are pretty good looking,
So it's there's a touching farewell to Jane Goodall, dead at 91. And you got a story here, Dale, that I think we can squeeze in. Corn dogs are being recalled.
They're being recalled because people found bits of wood in them, in a corn dog. Which, first of all, I don't know how you can tell because corn dogs pretty much look like wood themselves. But they found pieces of wood, which I guess is why they tasted a lot like ash. Because they had that wood.
It's it's a little hint too. If you're running for office, never eat a corn dog when there's a photographer around. Because that is a very easy Photoshop. And with that note, Tim Slagle in for Bruce Wolf with Dale Irvin. Bruce will be back here next week. Thankfully, mercifully. Yeah. On the Weekly Wrap.
And that's the Weekly Wrap on radio and television. Follow Bruce at Bruce Wolf Shy on Twitter and Tim at timslagle.com. The Weekly Wrap with Bruce Wolf, a CP Pods production.